Hello. So I had a question the other day from one of my clients. You know that we have this new expand audience that Facebook is actually now putting in all of the accounts, especially when you're doing conversion campaigns, you won't be able to uncheck the button. The button that I'm actually referring to is when you have a conversion campaign, when you come here, back in the day, you were able to see something like this, reach people beyond your detailed targeting, and you could check it or uncheck it. For a period, it was on the conversion campaigns, it was auto checked, and you could play if you want to use it or not. I have another video which I'm actually explaining about the detailed targeting expansion option and why it's good to use it now after the iOS changes. I'm going to say to you now that it's good to use it. Anyway, you don't have to go to the other video. It's good to use it because we have we have a smaller audience now to target because of the iOS changes, and it's good to use it. Now, although it was good to not use it when you were starting with a new pixel, but Facebook is now making it mandatory for all of the conversion campaigns. Although there's a very big problem, and sometimes we need to be flexible and actually adapt to this change. What is the problem? When you're putting now interests, you're not able to see if these interests are actually big or small interests in order to know how to group them together, in order to know if you're targeting something small and you're expanding to something bigger, all of these questions that you might have. I have an example over here. It's the example of phishing, okay? We can come to a conversion campaign. Let's say that we were creating a conversion campaign and we were having the phishing as an interest. From here, we can see that the estimated reach is 258 million, which is actually the full potential reach of 1865 and all genders here. If we change that, we will see that, of course, the reach is going to actually change, okay? So what if we want to see what is the actual potential reach? I'm targeting also United States. What is the actual potential reach of this interest? Now you're not able to see it anymore in your conversion campaigns, so we have to be smart. We can create, and by the way, when you create, let me come here. When you create a campaign, you can come and see we have conversions and we have traffic ads, okay? Now you can create one campaign which is going to be traffic ads over here. And when you go to your traffic ads, you can click here and you can see that if we go down, we still have the option over here. If they are going to remove it from the traffic ads also, go to brand awareness. I don't think that they're going to remove it from the brand awareness. But here you can see that when we put the interest phishing, we have 57 million, which is actually the true potential reach for the phishing interest in the United States. Now, let's discuss a little bit about the smaller audience, okay? Let's find a smaller audience. Let's go to suggestions just for the sake of this one. Let's go to this one, okay? 7 million, okay? And we click here. We can see that the potential, of course, when you see an audience, by the way, I want to say that the 7.9 million to 9.3, it's actually for the worldwide. This is what you see. And when you put it in a country, you can see the potential reach for this country. So we know that the phishing reel is 7.8, 5.8 million. A very good interest to use also if you are using, if you want to target the phishing niche. But in this specific case, if you are going to put the phishing reel as it is in a conversion campaign, you are going to, go on, do it. Okay, you are going to have 258 million. Okay, so you don't understand what is the potential reach of each of the audiences that you are using. And one last thing that I want to mention about this, it's very important for you to know it. Do you know why? Because when you're targeting audiences, you need to group together the small ones with the small ones, the big ones with the big ones. So if you have small audiences like 200K, 300K, it's good if you group these audiences and make one ad set with many of these interests, okay, and have a total audience which is going to be compiled by the small audiences. The moment you will have 5 audiences, let's say, of 200K, and you put a very big audience of 20 million inside, Facebook is going to spend all the money on the 20 million audience. This is most probably something that you have seen when you're doing campaigns and you're using broad audiences, okay? And you see that in a CPO campaign, Facebook is spending all the money in the broad audience instead of spending on the other interests. Of course, now with the expand button, we have this uniformity, and we're going to targeting exactly all the full potential reach of the demographics that we use. But at the end of the day, it's very good for you to know what is big and what is small in order to group them together. And also, if you're starting right now, it's better to start with smaller audiences and then let Facebook to expand them, instead of starting with the big keywords that they have so much competition. Okay, now this is all I want to tell about how to find the actual potential reach and why it's important for you to know the potential reach of your different interests, so that you can create the best possible audiences. I'm going to see you in another future short video.